Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Elliot and this is the Stanley Parable Part 2. I've been really thrilled about this. It's not like there's been an annoying voice in my head the entire time I've been playing this game. Yeah.
Back here again. Maybe they've come back. Hello?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You killed me with a nuke. I know.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Stop. If you're lying right now, stop. I'm not lying. He's lying. Okay, that's a bit of a fall. Do not jump from the cargo barrier. May cause death. Penalty for misuse cargo, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off cargo, $5,000. So I would die and I have to I get charged $5,000. Well, that's just a rip-off, I think. But no one's around. Maybe we should. Whee!
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not sure.
No, you just killed me with a nuke.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Really?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stan.
Cheryl?
Someone you've forgotten about.
Susan.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Cheryl? What have you done with Cheryl? Tell me!
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Really? How do I look? Cheryl, honey.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I can't do it. Yeah. I don't want... I still love her. I'm fine. Hey, I work at I live at the same bar.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
Yes.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Oh, I've got no legs still.
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Hey.
Gotcha.
You're sick.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Yes.
Who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Screw you. I want nothing to do with this game.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Ah!
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh, I'm gonna die again.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him.
Well, I do work in an office.
Every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind,
Trapped.
in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh. Well, that's just sad. Fine, I'll turn on the TV. Maybe the game's on.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
No!
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
No, it didn't. Spend time with the boys. Maybe they want to go out drinks with me again.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Oh, screw you. Fine, I'll do it myself because apparently I'm all alone and I only got... and I'm a wife and Cheryl still doesn't like me.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
Huh?
And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Tell a kid's I don't have any kids!
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Oh no!
In reality,
She's
all
gone.
he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
I am real! Maybe I'm still dreaming. Go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I can't. I work in an office. It's my job to do stuff like this.
You see?
Damn
Can
it!
he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
Well, get me
How can
out.
I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose.
your game.
The same as Stanley. We're not so
I'm
different,
stuck in
I
it.
suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Oh,
And Stanley
thanks.
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
oh, great. I'm getting tired of this.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I'm not listening to you.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Maybe I'll just die again. I wonder if I can jump off that to that platform. Let's give it a go. Worst way to
Look,
do it,
Stanley,
die
I think
again.
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot
Oh,
here.
don't get me
I'm
that.
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really?
Yes.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yes.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
yes.
Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
You had one chance and you blew it. You killed me with a nuke. I'm going through the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yep. Going through the blue.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No! Okay. Oh, there's the blue one. Fine, I'll go to the blue. I want to go to the blue.
All right, fine.
My
Go ahead,
choice.
Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there?
Yes.
You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
To spite you,
Do you
yes.
not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Battle
Work
Royale.
with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Oh, there's
now,
a survey.
tell me about your experience
kill
with
me
this
now.
new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Right.
Let's take a look.
Oh, what? There's a leaderboard? Neil? How's he up there? He's using hacking. He's hacking. Oops. Worst 3% choose the blue door. Oh. Oh, it's not a thing. Oh, it's only. Oh, I'm lost. I thought I did really well. Fine. I'm going through your yellow door because I know it's corrupted in here.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Well, I am last. I don't like being last. So 4.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
Oh, beats
You
what
wouldn't
you
mind
got
taking
here.
a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Sure.
In this game, the baby
Oh,
crawls
God.
left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. All about the desperation and
You
tedium of
sicko.
endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
What?
So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
With what? Oh, jeez. How am I supposed to do this for 3 hours? Oh, that crying is getting to me. Oh, God.
5 minutes later.
You heartless bastard.
Oh, this is your game.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know
Mainly
what to
the
do.
crying.
I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful,
Yes.
why don't we play someone else's game?
Good.
Just to ease the pain.
Fine.
Let's see. What do we have here?
Anything else is better than your game.
Yes.
Torturing
This
me like
seems
this.
like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with.
Yeah.
But is it enough?
I'm happy with this one.
Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
I
Well,
can't
I'll
jump.
say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic
can't
purpose.
jump.
Watch this, Stanley.
Turn-
I'm going to build a house.
Oh.
This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete.
Really?
I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy.
I'm pretty sure
but
I
you've
can
only
make something
seen
a
it
lot
from
better
the
than that.
outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Doesn't look very comfortable. Too fat to fit through the door.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect?
No.
It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond.
Oh, now you're talking.
Diamond everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay. Yeah, let's go mining.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind.
Huh?
I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
new game.
I was enjoying that one. Okay, that's it.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love
Wait,
it.
you don't?
You, trapped in a glass box.
How do you
with
not
no
know
way
what this
out,
game is?
Listening to me talk.
You uncultured
it's
swine.
inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is. Oh, it's a puzzle.
Yes.
Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Oh, I want the companion cube.
Genius.
I know. Next level, please.
No, actually,
Wait.
you know what? I think that's plenty.
No.
I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of
It's
these
only the
games.
first
And
level.
I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I think I'll just go about my business, making meaningful cultural contributions to the world. And perhaps every now and then I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck with your work. And I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Go away. Hope there's no fall damage. Oh, this is one of his unfinished works. It's in beta. Yep, I can definitely tell that. That looks like an edge. That looks like an edge. Nope. Maybe. Oh! I'm dead. again. Oh. Hello? You still here, crazy man? Oh, there's a light. So people leave the damn computers on. God. Do you not care about the environment? I wonder if this is where he's been controlling the game and watching me. Which means he only just left. Hey, get back here!
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
No.
And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him.
Oh, really?
He needs me.
Do I?
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back.
Oh. Great. Back here again.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yep.
What could it mean?
Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Thank you. Yep.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Oh.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad. Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
As long as it gets rid of you. Oh, don't tell me I died again.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Oh.
Was it over?
Was it? Did I win?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
I don't care.
Where had his co-workers gone?
I don't care.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
This sky's so blue.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Exactly.
And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
This is almost like it's too good to be true.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
Oh my God.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yes.
And Stanley was happy.
Indeed. I'm out of that hellhole of an office. And now roll the credits. Oh, you